Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline. It's so good to have you here today. And I wanted to show you guys the book that I made when I was 9 years old in grade school. And so they were teaching me how to knit. So they had me make a book for knitting, crocheting, and sewing as well. So this is the knitting book. And you can see as we learn different things, knit and purl. Knit and purl kind of look the same. I learned how to do these bells, really cool. Do some baby patterns with those. Well, my favorite pattern that I have used so much is this ripple. And I've used it a lot to make baby blankets, things like that for my kids. It's really been a lot of fun. And we learned so many great things, about like how to do a sock. And then even we took a photo and we created a pattern with it and knit a little picture from the pattern. So it was pretty cool, a lot of fun. We even found a sheep, took some wool, carded the wool, and knit a little thing. So this book I had since I was 9 years old, and I continue to look at it whenever I want to do that ripple. And the most recent time I used that stitch was here in this rainbow. So what I've decided to do is, instead of making, scarves and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I did do some really incredible things when I was younger. Stitching, beautiful, beautiful stitching for the sweater, things like that. But, it's kind of like over time, you're like, what else do I do? How else do I challenge myself? So I decided to do some art. And I really love fantasy and, fantastical stories. And I'm getting a lot into spirituality. And so I would like to knit things along those lines. So I made a rainbow that is going to go with a project that I'm doing. Well, the project is going to be a hanging on a wall of a scene that a friend had a dream for, and she saw some moons. So I used some crochet, because I found that making a circle like this, either a sun or a moon, and it had two moons in her dream. It's hard to do with knitting. I was trying to figure out how to make a circle with knitting. And the other thing is that I was trying, this is a little messy here, but I was trying to make the sky and the the clouds here. So I was using this for the cloud, see this light blue with this kind of like white fuzzy stuff, and then this other blue. I was trying to use that and then put the moon in it. But one of the problems is the moon that I was using is like such a thicker material that it was, anyway, I started pulling some of it out. But it was turning out to be it wasn't going to be flat and hanging properly. So I realized I just wanted to make a sky that then I would hang a moon on. So I'll be putting the moon on the sky. And then I started actually knitting from here. You can see, I started knitting from here and I knit this way. And as I knit, I subtracted from the outside and 2 places on the inside to make kind of like this sort of a V type shape. And that's the earth. And the center of the earth is molten lava. So as I was knitting that, I decided, then I switched to crochet and just crocheted this little section here in the shape that I wanted for the molten lava, because I felt like that would create the right shape that I wanted. And also it has some crochet and some knit, so it kind of goes together better. And then you can see back here how I did these clouds. I just kind of did the clouds out of my mind. I didn't really try to make any particular shape, and I don't know if they'll be the right shape, but I think what I'm going to do is tack this out somewhere so it'll get flat, and then I'm going to be making attachment strings, putting it on a stick that I have. So, and then it's going to have a ribbon of, light energy, kind of like a rainbow going through it. And the other thing I did here is this part here is my own design. It's green and brown together. I did knit 2 brown, knit 2 green, knit 2 brown, knit 2 green across, and then I went back across, so it's knit 2 brown, knit 2 green, so it's knit 2 brown, knit 2 green, so the brown is on top of the green, and then I did a row of green and a row of brown, and then I went back to knit 2 green, knit 2 brown, and I just pulled the excess across, and I didn't try to hide it. So as I was knitting, I was using my right and left hands, so that I was knitting with one color, like I say, the brown with my right hand and the green with my left hand, and I would just knit 2 brown and then knit 2 green with that yarn, and it was just coming over, and then knit 2 brown with the yarn coming over. So then both sides have this yarn that has come across. You can just see it's just come across, and I'm not trying to hide my yarn that is not being knit. I don't know any of the professional words. So as a result, when you look at this, you see these lines because I just allow the color to move across with the stitch. So that, I guess you could say, I created my own stitch to do the effect that I wanted, which was kind of like a grass with brown, earth showing through. So then to connect these two, what I did is I had knit this earth part first, and I just picked up the stitches onto the needle, and then started knitting the blue the other direction. So one's knit this way and the other's knit that way. But you can't really tell. But they aren't sewn together. It picked up the stitches and I knit them together. So it's the same number of stitches. And in this next project, the way that I have overcome these different sizes, because this green is a lot thicker gauge than the blue. So I knit 2 strands of blue together, and so it's 2 dark blues, a dark and a light mixed, and then light blues mixed together. So the way I am able to work different types of yarn, same with this yellow, is these 2 different ones together. So I'm finding that the way to change the gauge is to like put 2 thin ones together or 1 thick one. And so hopefully I don't have the same problem that I was having with that one there. So this is the first part, and then I will videotape the final product.